Got a problem? Got a need? Is your mind in confusion? Got something to fix? Looking for a solution?
Go then get up and go Technobusters.
Gotta find what we need. Gotta go investigate it. Think it out. Go design. Get ready to create it.
Go then get up and go Technobusters.
Check it in. Check it over. Try it out. Go to test. If the problem is solved, the solution is best.
Go then get up and go Technobusters.
Hola, 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 all the beautiful people of Mzansi. Yep, this is the workshop. Now, I'm in such a very good mood today, and I'm going to let you know about that as the show goes on. But for now, I just want to let you know that it just feels exciting just being in the studio. I mean, this is Technobusters, the show where... Well, we're in the workshop today. Now, please give a techno what's up to the Miles of Smiles Club. Now, what is the Miles of Smiles Club? Well, it is guys who are trying to help the orphans of the Hope Center.
Hello, my name is Nicholas.
Hello, I'm Coley, and I come from Ipiling Primary.
Well, firstly, I have to say thank you to you guys for caring for the orphans and just trying to make the world a better place. Now, to all you guys that haven't been tuning in, here's the lowdown. Our problem is that the children at the orphanage have very few toys to play with. Now, the techno heroes at the Ipiling Primary started the Miles of Smiles Club to make toys for the center. Already we made cool moving cardboard toys, one for every child. Sister Agnes, who runs the center, wrote and told us that the orphans love the new toys. Of course, this is just the start, but you gotta start somewhere, guys, right? Yep, now the mission continues here at the workshop. Now you guys have been writing so many letters and we just want to say thank you for each and every one. Now the reason why I'm so excited today happens to be this letter that we received from Mr. Baloy. Yep, now he works for a shop called Fantastic Plastic. Now when opportunity knocks, you open the door. Well, this is what Mr. Baloy said in his letter. Dear Technobusters, seeing your show the other day made me remember when I was a young boy. What we loved the most was a toy with wheels. Once my grandpa helped us put wheels on a box and we would pull each other around in it. Yeah, we had so much fun. Then at work the next day, the manager said that there was still a whole lot of big old plastic tubs in the storeroom. He wanted to put them on sale at a cheap price. I told him about the Miles of Smiles, and so now instead we are going to donate the tubs to them. Maybe you can make baggies out of them like we did when we were young. And I also asked my neighbor to help. He owns a fruit and vegetable shop and has also donated some trays and boxes because you can also make smaller baggies to use as toys. I hope that this will bring more smiles. So keep up the good work, guys. From Mr. Abel Baloy all the way in Orlando. Yep, so the Technobusters decided to get together with the Miles of Smiles Club so that we can make fun baggies for the orphans at the Hope Center.
Cool.
But how?
Good question. But now our need is that we need to make pull-along toys from waste material. And it is important that we give each child something that they can play with and that they can call their own. But now we don't have any money.
At least we got Mr. Baloy's tubs.
For sure. You know what? We're going to use a technological process to solve this problem. You'll see.
What's a buggy exactly?
Well, a buggy is a small vehicle used to carry 1 or 2 people.
Vehicle?
Vehicle. Vehicle. Used for traveling on land, like a car or a sled.
Well, yeah, Technobuster, today we are designing and making simple cars. We are going to be making baggies that the children can pull along behind them. We investigated on how to make these baggies and didn't only find one way, but 2. I mean, after all, this is Technobusters, right? So are you guys ready for the lowdown?
Sure.
So, yep, we found out that we can either have a baggie with the wheels or rollers or under. So in this case, what we're going to have to use is a plastic tub, put it upside down, and then put it over the wheels and axles. Or we'll use these shallow cardboard trays that will be the right way up so that we can use them to carry a load. The axles and wheels will be below the chassis, just like a little wagon.
Well, what's an axle?
And what's a chassis?
Well, let's start at the beginning. You guys do know what a wheel is, right?
Wheel. A circular frame or disc
That moves around an axis.
So what are we going to use for wheels on our buggies?
Well, we're gonna make our own wheels, but first I need to tell you about how these wheels work. Now you see the middle point of a wheel is called an axis.
Axis. A point around which something moves. Axis.
Uh-huh. But now to join two wheels, you need an axle.
Axle. A kind of rod that joins two wheels together. Axle.
Now a wheel is a disc that moves around an axis, which is linked to another wheel by an axle.
It's a moving system.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
But what's a chassis?
Chassis. A chassis is a base or bottom frame of a car. Chassis.
You see this bit right here? That's the chassis. Now that's how the wheel system of a car fits together. Now Technobuster filed this report on the history of wheels.
Can you imagine life without the wheel? No cars, no bikes, nothing to drive around in. Tough going, huh? Actually, long ago it was not as difficult as we might think, because there were also no proper roads. There were just rough and narrow paths, so it was safer to rely on sure-footed beasts of burden like mules, camels, and horses. Before wheels were invented about 6,000 years ago, sleds were used, and these can still be seen in rural parts of our country. There was also another type of vehicle called a travois.
Travois. A simple vehicle of two poles in the shape of a V.
Like a sled.
Travois.
The V shape pointed towards the animal pulling the travois. The open ends trailed on the ground, and there was a loose framework between the poles on which the load was placed. These were useful because the poles could also be used as tent poles for the traveler to sleep in at night. Then came the wheel. A clay tablet was found in Mesopotamia from more than 5,000 years ago, and it has a picture of a sled with 4 wooden wheels. Then when some archaeologists were digging up the ruins of a city called Ur, they found quite a few wheeled vehicles. So what's an archaeologist?
Archaeologist. Someone who digs in the earth to find things left behind from very long ago. Archaeologist.
Now I bet you're wondering what the first wheels looked like. Most early wheels were made of wood. In places with lots of trees, they were often made of one solid piece of wood, like a slice of a log. Mostly they were made of 3 pieces of wood joined together. Or where there was no wood, they were made of stone. These were all very heavy, so people tried to make the wheels lighter by cutting holes in them, until they created the spoked wheel, which was both light and strong. There's also one thing that you must know about the wheel. There are 2 ways of connecting a wheel to its axle. In some vehicles, the axle was fixed to the vehicle and the wheel turned around the end of it. This worked well for light vehicles. The other way was for heavier vehicles. The wheel was firmly fixed to the axle and the whole axle turned as the vehicle moved. The ways of making wheels better changed the world. And with that, it's back to the workshop.
Thank you, Techno. Well, we've been designing our buggies. Now the next step is to make our wheels. Now there's a few ways that we can actually do this, so listen up. Okay, so the first way is to make cardboard wheels. Firstly, make a paper circle as your template to find the center of the wheel. You will do this by folding the paper in half. Now open it up and fold it in half the other way. Where the folds cross, this is the center. Choose the size of the wheel that you want carefully. A pull box makes a nice small-sized wheel. Cut out 8 circles from the card. Glue these together in pairs and peg them together until they are dry. Then use a circle shape that's quite a lot smaller to make 4 more circles. Using your paper template, mark the center of each wheel. Make a hole using an awl. Carefully push a split pin through the center of the smaller wheel and then the bigger wheel. Voila! There's our wheels, but then there's another way. Choose a wheel size that is right for your vehicle. Carefully cut 4 circles from your cardboard. Mark the center of each using a paper template. Cut 12 more strips from the card and fold each in half. Use 3 strips for each wheel and glue them together. Glue this onto the wheel, making sure that the folds are in the middle. Push the axle or rod through the middle. Glue it in place. It now works like an axle. Now guys, there are other ways to construct even stronger wheels. So our technobusters out there to show us how.
Wheels made out of cardboard are fun and easy to make, but you might want to make wheels that are much stronger. For example, wheels made out of plastic or tin. Check this out. Collect 4 plastic pill box lids that are the same size. Make a hole in the center of each lid using your paper template. Fill each lid with plasticine or Play-Doh to make it stronger. Now push your axle through both wheels, ensuring the dough is facing towards the inside. You could also try this. We call them fat tackies. Take 2 plastic bottles and cut them off above the base, depending how wide you want the fat tackies to be. Make a hole in the center of each one the same width as your axle rod. Push one base into the other to make a very strong wide wheel. Now push your axle through the center of each. Remember that the center is where the axis is. We can also make tin can rollers and tin can wheels. These are a bit difficult to make, so you might need a grown-up to assist you, but these are very strong. Carefully use your awl to push a hole through the tab on the drinking side of a tin can. Push the hole through the silver rivet. Find the middle of the base of the can using your paper template. This is your roller. If you're going to make tin can wheels so that your buggy can have fat tackies, firstly, you'll have to start by cutting your tin can in half. First, make the holes like we just did for the roller. Then draw a line around the halfway mark. To get started, first use your awl to make a small hole on your halfway mark. Then use your tin snips to cut the can in half along your halfway line. Now push the edges of one half in slightly on the rim where it was cut and then push this into the other half. Ask a grown-up to help you with this. Now you have a fat tacky for your buggy.
Yeah, we're back in the workshop making small toy buggies. Now Nicholas right here is making a cardboard box buggy while Corlie is making a roller buggy using a plastic tub. Nicholas made 2 holes in front of his buggy and made sure that they were opposite each other or the vehicle would wobble. He did the same for the back. He put the front and back axle rods through these holes, making sure that the holes were slightly bigger than the axles. He fastened the wheels onto the axles. He used a dowel rod and a wheel nut as a spacer between the chassis and wheels. These will stop the wheels rubbing on the side of the vehicle, which meant his buggy would not run smoothly. He fastened the wheels onto the axles with a little glue from a glue gun. Now let's check out Corlie's buggy. For her, she's done the same as Nicholas did by making 4 holes in a tub. She used 2 cans as rollers with holes, also like Nicholas. She then used the correct sized wire for the axles. She passed the wire through each can and then fitted the wire into the holes in the tub. So now let's check out how the Technobusters and the Miles of Smiles Club are getting along.
What's up, Technobusters? We're busy decorating our toys that we're going to be giving to the children at the Hope Center. We're hoping they'll have lots of fun playing with them.
Mine's blue with purple spots. I call it the measle buggy.
That is so gross.
I'm painting clown faces on my buggy.
Oh, so it's like a circus here now.
Mine's got bottle tops for lights.
That's so clever.
That's nothing. My car's got an aerial.
Oh, that is extremely creative.
Please, mine's got a cardboard number plate.
Well, what can I say? It's really getting busy here at the club. Back to you, Techno.
Yep, now before we say goodbye, we need to stay true to the technological process, which obviously means that we need to evaluate.
Yes, we need to see how good our buggies are.
Exactly, which is why I made this ramp right here, so that you guys can send your buggies down it to see if it can go down smoothly. So you first, Coley. Oh, brilliant! It went in a straight line. Now you, Nick. Way to go, Nick! Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I think it went great.
You know, I think so too. Well, it has been real, it has been tight. It's because... Well, there you have it. We can make big buggies, but for now, we're going to continue making small buggies for our friends at the Hope Center. So, guys, please keep on writing. And for myself, the workshop, and the rest of the Techno Busters, until next time, bye!